Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I am kind of beside myself to share this episode because everything is really kind of shaping up to be much bigger than what I thought it was. And let me start off by saying I'm really grateful for the opportunity to create a platform where I can talk about the things that I love and try to help people and be connected with people that are doing the same. I'm literally living my dream. So it's crazy because things are so chaotic around me, but I am just all the way grateful, as grateful as one can be, to have done this with my life, to be given these opportunities. Okay, so hi, I'm Anura, massive host of Straight in the Fight. This will be, I think, episode 6. I feel good. And I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself. I see your name on the screen here, and people will be able to see it, but I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself.
All right. You want me to introduce myself first?
Yes, go ahead.
Cool.
That was
cool.
introduction.
No worries. Yeah. No worries. So my name's Ari, and I am the founder, creator of Jiu Jitsu FLO. Still, actually, in all honesty, trying to figure out what Jiu Jitsu FLO is going to become. But I've been training and practicing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for about 11 years now, and I started when I was 25, so I'm 36, and it's had a huge impact on my life, mentally, physically, spiritually, and Jiu Jitsu FLO is basically a movement system or way of practicing that complements live training if you practice jiu-jitsu, but also just a way of body weight movement and system where it just you can practice training, working out, exercising wherever you want, no equipment. Or partner if you're training jiu-jitsu is required, and just trying to help two things. Number one, help jiu-jitsu practitioners progress faster by doing things outside of training that'll help promote mobility, body coordination, body awareness. I think a squirrel just drove by. Sorry. I gotta be my ninja senses on.
Right.
Yeah, and so for jiu-jitsu practitioners, and then for mainstream, just for the average person, even if you don't train jiu-jitsu, I just want to find a way to be able to help with like new movements, efficient movements that are used in jiu-jitsu that can be applied in standing up more effectively, sitting down effectively, helping if you fall, how to roll properly, just overall mobility. And ideally I would like to be, I think if you train jiu-jitsu, it's going to make you a better person. So obviously I want everyone in the world to be training jiu-jitsu, and so I'm hoping that jiu-jitsu FLO will help just spread jiu-jitsu, because jiu-jitsu is it can be intimidating, right, for men and women. And so I want to be able to maybe make the barriers to entry a little less threatening. And so, yeah, that's where I am. I've been doing it for Jiu Jitsu FLO for a couple years, and here we are today, still trying to figure it out.
That's so awesome. I thank you for going through all of that. I have so much to say and just a few things that you've mentioned, but 11 years is a long time. You're Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Black belt. I'm very, very honored to be connected with you. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I've got 2 stripes on my white belt. So
hey, there you go. You're good. That's awesome. Congrats.
I really appreciate it. Everybody that I'm sure, all the other black belts that I've shared that with have like praised me. And I'm like, well, I have a long way to go, but that's not really the way I'm looking at it. Like I've had quite a journey. So, I don't know if you've seen any other episodes. It's totally fine if you haven't, but I had a concussion, that stopped my training for a significant amount of time. So I'm just coming back. And I know I'll get raised, up to it, promoted at some point. But yeah, it's been a really unique journey, and 11 years is a long time to commit to anything. So I commend you on that.
Well, thank you. It's the way I've played a lot of sports in my life, and jiu-jitsu for some reason is, and one of the reasons I love it actually is I just knew once I started training that it was something that I could do for the rest of my life. So, and when I look at it as like a lifelong journey, it really helped me from white belt to blue to purple to brown to black, whatever, not focus so much on my progression and the belts, because I knew I'm thinking about it for the long term. So it's like, just show up, just make sure that whatever's going on, I'm able to find my way back to the mats, whether it's an injury or life or work or whatever it is. Like if you take a couple of weeks off, you take a few months off, like life happens and it's okay. Just make sure that you get back to it. And those are the people that eventually, even if it takes you 25 years, you'll get your belts, and that, that'll all come. But it's just the day to day and making sure that you don't give up completely, and then you'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm not focused on getting promoted. I honestly didn't even include myself in promotions. I just wasn't doing it for that reason. So I also want to talk about Jiu Jitsu FLO because it's, and my goodness, it's so, I hope you can't hear these people talking.
No, you're
they're
good.
kind of awesome. It's drawn me in. I try not to share every single video that you post, but it's also my goodness, please pay attention to this guy. It's so I love doing jiu-jitsu because I like the physicality of it. I like to move my body. I dance. I like to dance. So it's like you're dancing. It's like you're teaching people the importance of flexibility and mobility, but in such an artistic way. It's really beautiful. So I really am honored to be connected with you and to be able to share your videos. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you sharing, and I'm super happy and grateful that you find value in it. And in reality, I'm not it's jiu-jitsu that is that is the beautiful, it's just the beauty of jiu-jitsu. And I don't really look at it as I'm creating anything new. All I'm doing is taking the movements that I learn in jiu-jitsu from a lot of different people, and I just try to figure out how I can embody them through myself and how I move. And I say this a lot, movement is my form of expression. Everybody has different ways of expressing themselves. For whatever reason, my mom was a dancer, and I've just always been pretty coordinated. And and so it's come easy to me. And I did gymnastics for competitively for like the first 13 years of my life, and danced a lot. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitated towards jiu-jitsu later in life. It it helps me express myself, but it's all through jiu-jitsu, and the movements that are utilized there. And so, yeah, it's a cool, like, if you can, no, that's it. It's just, I don't like to take too much like credit for like what I'm doing. It's because it's just jujitsu.
Here, please take credit for what you're doing, because I want to. Oh no, I think I lost. Okay, it timed out just for a second. I want to say something else about flexibility. So my background is in like yoga and meditation. Like that's the earliest part of my life,
Yeah,
and I've always been taught that what helps with longevity in life is your flexibility and
yeah,
flexibility throughout your time. And so, as we age, I think I watched this on The Big Think, and I know Joe Rogan just talks about it in an episode of when we age, we lose our like muscle strength.
yeah,
That's why there's so many falls, and really, like, statistically, when somebody falls in an older age, like, that's kind of like defining the last parts of their lives, unfortunately. My
right,
grandmother fell sometimes and did not live for very long after that. So I think that what you're doing is like revolutionizing jujitsu, because
right,
it's like such an important part of our lives, our human mind, to stay flexible and mobile, and
yeah,
be able to kind of like miss that part of, at least in Western culture, like if
right,
we're was just deteriorating and our muscle strength was just away. So
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Yeah, of course. Well, it's interesting. There's like other martial arts and other sports in general. They do this a lot. Like boxing, for example, you have shadow boxing where you practice your
Mhm.
combinations by yourself, and it's not live training, but you're just practicing the movements. You're visualizing. Um, and other sports, baseball, you're working on your swing. Basketball, you're doing these solo movements just to work on body coordination and visualization. And I just think jiu-jitsu has the movements that are used there have so many real life applications, for all populations, from young children to people that are older that have to worry about falling and balance. And like, it's just really cool how jujitsu movements can apply to everybody, in some form, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
super fortunate to found it, because I just like by chance found, like,
how did
I
you?
didn't know it existed. I wanted to find a self defense class. I took classes in Texas. That's where I'm
Mhm.
from, and there were just BS. They just
Really?
were not good classes. And so
Yeah.
moving to Colorado, like I I Googled, local gyms, and then I
Uh-huh.
called and took a trial. I think it's so important for jiu-jitsu gyms, MMA gyms to like offer free trials so people can like get in the door. I think most places do, but I just was taking like a women's self-defense class. I
Mhm.
didn't think that came from like a martial art. I had no
Right.
idea that
Right.
this was jujitsu and Muay Thai, and I just
Yeah.
wanted that self-defense aspect. I mean, I'm a woman, and I
Yeah.
moved here on my own, and like
Yeah.
I've had including last night, having someone follow me. I had somebody like just following me last night. There's not a place where I'm safe. I'm a woman of color. I'm
Yeah.
not safe anywhere. So
Yeah.
I have to make sure that I can defend myself, and I think I can do that pretty well now.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's awesome. Number one, I love that, that you've you're a white belt with 2 stripes and you already have a confidence about you that I think like having a confidence, like the confidence that learning how to defend yourself gives you almost like it helps you avoid situations because predators, they prey on the weak, right?
Yeah.
So and as humans, we feed off people's energy, and that's probably one of the biggest differences I've noticed in myself uh, through training jiu-jitsu is I've always been a confident person, uh, like physically and just through sports and whatnot. I have 2 older brothers, and so I've just always had, but I never knew how to fight. So like there was a confidence, but there was also a fear and insecurity at the same time. And now it's like I'm still afraid of. I don't want any confrontation, but I know that I have a certain presence about myself that if anything were to happen, like my brain might be scared, but I know like I have a deep inner confidence in my body that my body will know what to do. And I like to think that that will help stop anything from coming my way. And also I feel like through jujitsu, you're able to, because it's so close and like real, and you're able to start reading people's energy and body language better. And so I feel like I can see things that might start, some negative aspect that might start happening that I can avoid before it even gets to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think that jujitsu really helps with like clarity of mind, like
Yeah,
going to to roll, definitely breaking out in the sweat, but it also like enhances your intuition, and
exactly,
that's how you avoid those things.
exactly.
I this person, by the way,
Yeah.
I was like finishing an interview. I was on somebody else's podcast, and
Mm.
I saw them just one time. I'm like engaged in the conversation. I'm not
Yeah.
like totally paying attention, but this person like is circling my car. So it was a couple of times, and then they disappeared, and then they came back. They came back a third time, but I saw them that second time. It was like if my intuition if I was not in touch with that,
Yeah.
what I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if
Yep.
they followed me home, like, but the third time they came around, I flashed my lights at them. Like,
Yeah.
something is about to happen. I
Yeah.
know that you think that I'm prey, but
Yeah.
something's about to go down if you come over here again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, and it's having that the being able to tap, like just you're being aware, like being able to uh be within, like get in touch with your body, and I think that helps you in so many aspects of life, and jiu-jitsu forces you to do that, right? That's why I mean, like it's real, like there's no like faking jujitsu, and I think it's cool. There's different aspects of jujitsu where if you really want to go in and train hard and get after it, like you can do that. Or if you want to more like flow roll, which the flow rolling I feel comes with time. Like as you learn more, you're able to do it better. It's tough as a beginner because you just don't know that much, right? Like what you're going through is the hardest, in my opinion, and a lot of people say this too. It's not anything new, but like the hardest time in jiu-jitsu because you have nothing to go off of. So everything you're learning is brand new. But as you get better, it's like throwing paint on the wall, and then you're able to start piecing together different things, and you have more tools in the tool shed, and it starts coming together better. But like where you're at, it's a blank canvas, and you're just trying to figure it out like a new language.
meaning
So
that's
respect
a
to you.
good analogy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that the episode I just released of a painter.
Oh,
Chris
really?
Fowler. Yeah, he's an
Nice.
abstract BJJ abstract artist, And yeah, that just made me think of it because you're talking about
Yeah.
those analogies.
Yeah.
Um, there's something else she says that I'm going to come back to, but I
Mhm.
want to know, where are you located? Are you in California?
Yeah. So I'm in Southern California in Orange County,
Orange
in like
County. Okay.
Irvine. Yeah, it's in between Los Angeles and San Diego.
Okay. Okay. And do you have your own gym?
No. So I
No.
train at a gym in Costa Mesa called Triunfo Jiu Jitsu and MMA under the head professor is Felipe Fogelin. And I'll my vision. I eventually want to have my own gym, but I'm kind of a nomad. I travel around a lot. I've lived in a lot of different places over the last 10, 15 years, and just trying to figure out life. And I've always wanted to travel, um, and so that's why the this online uh, platform that I've been able to create over the last few years has been really cool because at the end of last year, I was able to quit my day job to be able to do this full time. And it's allowed me to go on. I went on a road trip, about a month long road trip up to Montana and then back through like Washington, Oregon. I'm just able to travel more now, and I don't have any kids or anything, and I want to take advantage of that. And so yeah, at some point I'll open up a gym, but I really like the two aspects here. Like my vision is the online presence is a really cool way to reach a lot of people, right? I'm talking to you right now as an example.
Yeah.
And it's a way to connect with people from literally all over the world. Um, but there's I you can only connect to somebody so much via the internet, right? So you can the gym aspect, being able to connect with somebody in person, I think is you can have a much deeper uh, connection or relationship, and so I want to be able to do both. Uh, and but right now, not the time to open the gym, but definitely in the very near future.
You almost sound like a therapist. doing
Uh,
doing online sessions and then in person sessions. That'll be great.
hey, that's it. My jujitsu's definitely saves my life on a day to day basis. So it's definitely a form of therapy for sure. So I'd love to be able
For
to
sure.
help people. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not. I'm sure it's on my profile, but I'm a trauma therapist. I'm
Hmm.
EMDR trauma therapist. Um,
Hmm.
so and Chris Fowler talks about it as well. That's how he's doing it for difficult situations. Is they using jujitsu. Um,
Yeah.
I think it is another form of therapy. It's like um it's like experiential. Like it's like in real time. Like, I mean, toss therapy and EMDR, trauma therapy is in real time as well, but it's just different because you're not like faced with the challenge head on, trying to get somebody off of you or submit
Yeah.
somebody. You're not faced with the same type of real time um, challenges. So I think there's going to be a rise in using jujitsu as a therapy practice.
Yeah. I mean I it's it's my therapy, and it helps me. So I've had struggles throughout life and whatnot, and it definitely has given me a purpose. And I don't even know what that purpose is, right? There in jiu-jitsu, like, am I trying to be a world champion competitor? Like, no, I started when I was 25, right? People are starting when they're like 5 nowadays and being world champions by the time they're 18. So it's like
Mhm.
figuring out what the purpose is. And for me, it's something that helps me be a better version of myself every day. And I see it as a avenue, or as a what's the word? Uh, a way to be able to help other people because it's helped me. So I know that it's real. I know that it can help other people because I'm just an average person. So if it can help me, I'm sure it can help somebody else. And it's interesting to think about like how, like, why is it so therapeutic? Because
Yeah.
I've played, like, there's so many sports out there that are all really fun and great, and team sports, individual sports, but there's just something about jiu-jitsu that um, like forces you. It's just different. So like it forces you to be in the moment. Um,
Mhm.
and there's real, it's like people relate it to human, they call it human chess, right? There's like problem solving, like
Yeah.
like you really have to be engaged. And that's one of the things I liked about it most at the beginning is, oh, even now, you walk into you could have a really bad day and you walk into jiu-jitsu, and for that hour and a half, you're not thinking about outside life. You're just focused on the technique that you're learning, the roles that you're doing. Um, and so that's, I think, one of the reasons why it's so powerful. And the community aspect, I think, is really cool because it can cater to different people. So, and what I mean by that is if you want to be very social verbally, you can do that, right? You can talk to people, have conversation in between roles, after class, before class, but also I think it's works well for people that may not want to communicate verbally as much, right?
Yeah.
And I've gone like I was like that for a while. Like I didn't really want to make friends with people, but you go into a class and you're you're connecting with people just by talking about the technique or just by rolling, or sparring.
Yeah.
And so I
Mhm.
think that's a really unique aspect of jujitsu. And like I have two older brothers, and my oldest brother finally started getting into it. But I would tell people, I know people that I train with in jujitsu. I feel like I have a different connection with them more so than my own brothers or my best friends. And it's that energy, that's just not even verbal communication, right? So just interesting to think about.
Yeah. I talked to a speaker yesterday, and it just so happens one of them started training in jujitsu, and it was like
Yeah.
we were talking about other things, and then I invited them on my show, so hopefully they hear this and come on my show.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking about other things, and then I brought up jujitsu, and it just like changed the conversation. And
Yeah.
oh, there we go. I lost video for a second. It changed
No,
the
sorry.
conversation.
It's my phone.
It's okay. It's okay. Um, it was just really funny because it just like it almost isolated the conversation because he's so excited to talk about it. The other two just
Yep.
shut up and like for 20 minutes we're talking about jujitsu. But yeah,
Yeah.
it makes you feel closer to those people, even if they're strangers. And um,
100%.
I coming back from taking that long time to recover. I think it took like
Yeah.
6 months to
Wow.
I just like instantly connect. Like I've toured 2 gyms now, and I just feel like I'm walking into home. Like of
Mhm.
course it's intimidating to go back in and to do I remember how to tie myself? Like do I even remember things? Um,
Yeah.
and get it, but like bowing in and stepping on the mat, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be here. Like, and I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing, and I'm like, am I gonna remember the news? And seriously, everybody since I think I've taken 3 classes now, and then one
Uh-huh.
military class, they've audibly said, "Wow!" Like apparently, I
Yeah.
haven't lost any of the things that and I think I've gotten better. So,
Yeah. It's
it just
awesome.
like, yeah, and I clicked with those people, and I don't want to say I value them over my family, but it's just a different connection.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
And the community, as the martial art has grown so much over the years, it's like you can travel literally almost anywhere and you're going to find a gym. and everyone's
Yeah.
doing the same thing. So even if you don't speak the language, you speak jujitsu. You know,
Mhm. Yeah. And I'm
my girlfriend, what's that?
no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no. My girlfriend, she last year she moved to Peru for 3 months to study Spanish, and she didn't know Spanish very well when she moved there. Um, but she found a jujitsu gym and was able to train and like no problem, right? Living in another
That's
country, didn't
awesome.
know the language, was able to make friends, train jujitsu, and uh, it was amazing.
Did she move there by herself?
Yeah, she did a like an intensive Spanish speaking program for about 3 months.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
something I wanted to do in high school and college and didn't, but that really had to immerse yourself. It's just kind of
Oh
like
yeah,
all attachments are gone.
yeah,
That's so
yeah.
awesome. I've connected with a few people internationally, and I am excited that they're coming on my show. There's people in different countries.
Nice.
I've checked,
Yeah,
I've checked Spotify, and there's a few people internationally that are listening to my show. It's so
uh,
cool.
that is really cool.
I want to bring up something because uh, I'm going to shift the conversation a bit and tell.
Sure.
And you're totally fine if you don't want to talk about it. But you just mentioned there were some things in your life that were difficult to deal with, and jujitsu helps you move through that. Um, and I just want to know what those things are and talk to you a little bit about like mental health.
Yeah. Um, so, well, I mean, there was a lot leading up to it, but basically, like in my early 20s, well, I smoked a lot of weed. My parents got divorced when I was like 12 or 13, and so my household went from like my parents being together, two older brothers in the house, to within like a year to just my mom and I. And that uh, just that change for whatever reason, and maybe it was me. I was always kind of a troublemaker, anyways. Like nothing crazy, but so maybe I would have gotten a little more trouble regardless. But that shift, I just started to get just rebel a little more, and so started smoking weed at a young age, and in my early 20s, um, I got introduced to OxyContin and ended up just getting addicted to that. And so it's around like 23 ish, 24, ended up going to rehab. I was just, and I was still doing like, I wasn't the best version of myself, but I was still doing okay. Like I was in college, I was playing basketball, but bad things were happening. Like I got kicked off my team just for bad attitude. Like I wasn't living up to my potential. So it wasn't obvious why things were happening. Um, but things were just, things weren't going well. Was, when you're in treatment, you life is difficult. There's a lot that goes on with life, figuring out your career, relationships, and there's so much going on in life just by itself, with or without addiction. But when you go to a treatment center, it's like uh, you have time where you don't have to worry about anything else other than yourself. So it's almost like a time where you can be, it's like you have the opportunity to just be very selfish and just focus on yourself, just worry about one day at a time, and getting up and just living a healthy lifestyle. You don't have to worry about paying the bills. You don't have to worry about like that you just put that to aside. And so I found value in that, and being able to stay in, and like, kind of go through a transitional phase where it would transition myself back into real life, I think was beneficial. Because again, life is difficult. Whether you're um, you're a high achiever and you're super functioning and whatever it is, like doesn't matter. Everybody struggles. They have their own struggles, whatever that is. And so being able to have the tools to integrate slowly back into the real world, I think was beneficial for me. And the therapy that I went through there, it's funny. I enjoyed it at the time, but like now I'm in a relationship and I had a high school girlfriend. I had a college girlfriend, but I was never really, I didn't really know how to be in a relationship. And like all throughout my 20s and early 30s, I didn't want to be in a relationship, because, my parents getting divorced and fear of things that could happen. And I wanted to travel. I wanted to like be like the best version of myself before I got into a relationship. And so it prevented me from practicing being in a relationship. And so now that I'm in a relationship in my 30s, like my first serious relationship that I'm actually invested in and trying to be a good boyfriend, be a partner, compromise, like all these things. I didn't really have much practice there. And so I've been wanting to do some type of therapy now, but it's really hard for me to get back into it. And so it's like jujitsu is therapy, but it's only so much.
Sure.
So yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe I could make recommendations if you're open to that. Um,
Yeah.
if you're seeking therapy, yeah, I'll tell my audience EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization reprocessing. It's a therapy designed to help treat trauma, but perhaps that can help. It's maybe not for everybody, but it's becoming very, very popular because it's different from talk therapy. Like talk therapy is, traditional. You're sitting in front of a therapist. Now you
Yeah.
can do it online, just like we're doing now,
Yeah.
talking now. But it's just it only reaches so far. Talk
Right.
therapy only goes so deep. So, and people spend years and decades of their lives going to talk therapy. So it's
Right.
only so effective. But EMDR is different in the way that it's meant to be effective right away, and it's a permanent change. So people that have suffered from trauma and PTSD for decades of their lives will go and have a few sessions, and those traumas will be desensitized, and their whole lives will change forever. Like veterans will go and have it's written in books. There's case studies that have been shared, and I can personally say I've had the same experience because I've gone through plenty of therapy myself. But it's really like a short investment for something that's lifelong. So
Yeah.
maybe that's something
Cool.
that can help you.
Yeah. It sounds interesting.
I'll publish more information about it. I think I'll make some animations so people know. I've gone through BetterHelp to get help,
Yeah.
and it's inexpensive. It's not as expensive as if I was seeing somebody in person, and so
Right.
that's an option. And for myself as a professional, I'm partnering with the Loveland Foundation, that is soon they're going to open this program again to provide therapy vouchers. So people that can't afford, a normal therapy session or EMDR session are able to apply for the program and I think they're going to have like 4 to 6 sessions, 4 to 6 therapy vouchers that they can use. So I'm partnering with them, I believe in August. So I just want therapy to be available to everybody. I don't want
Yeah.
money to be an issue. And
Yeah.
I'm also gonna start some giveaways. I think people like to talk to me, so I think I'm gonna give away like a few therapy sessions. like make it kind of like a contest or something on some of these
Yeah.
episodes. But I want people to feel more comfortable going to therapy.
Yeah. We all need help.
Yeah, and support in some way. I've got one final question, and then I'm gonna like give you some space to like ask me questions if you want. Um, you definitely don't have to ask me any questions, but my final question is, what does freedom look like to you?
Man. Freedom. Hmm. Different angles on this. I mean, right now I'm really just in my life where I'm at. I'm very um, focused on career uh, and my time. So I think in that aspect, where one aspect of it, freedom is being able to express myself and help people and spend my time in a way that I choose. Not being tied down or influenced too much by societal pressures. Um, having, yeah, that's keeps coming back to me. How the like freedom to just express myself in this world. How I truly want to. So like having the confidence, having the time, having the skills, having the just the space to be able to do so uh, is what's coming to mind when I think of freedom. Um, yeah, for some reason that's where I'm sticking because I feel like I wanted to go to a lot of like different angles on that, but that's what's sticking right now is just um, the ability to be able to express myself.
I to be honest, Ari, I think that you're a really free person. That's what I see when I see you. Like when I am looking at your videos, like there's a lot of freedom. Like truly feel like you're revolutionizing jujitsu, and I think that that's really going to catch on. I mean, you totally have a huge following, but I just think that that's going to take off. I think that's going to explode. So, um,
Thanks.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no problem. I so don't want to force you to ask me any questions, but I'm gonna allow you to do that if you'd like.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like I'm always interested in jujitsu related topics. It's how I like to connect with people. So, what what's like the thing that like how does jujitsu help you in your life? Like, why do you keep going back to it? You had a concussion, right? Like,
Yeah.
what makes you go back to it? Because a lot of people wouldn't.
Right, right. So my concussion, to be clear, did not happen when I was training in jiu-jitsu. It happened when I was training in Muay Thai, and I was just getting hit too hard, and we
Yeah,
weren't wearing any gear or anything.
yeah,
Um, so I don't have the association there with jujitsu, but um, I've I've come to know jujitsu as uh, it's like a spiritual practice for me. Like it's just it's just as spiritual as meditation. It's like meditation in action. It's just it really does help me stay clear. But I'm also like watching myself as I'm training. It's like it's 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 a really unique experience where I'm like, did I just do that. Like I just learned, like people are giving me compliments, but I'm also like, what did I just do? Like I just like, got out of that, or I just admitted someone, or I just like, I pick up things really quickly in jiu-jitsu. It's it's really addicting. I know we were just talking about addiction in a different way, but like I think it's healthy to be connected with things that you're really passionate about. And I'm really passionate about jujitsu, and I'm like, it is it. There's a void, like it's never ending. There's so much for me to learn. There's so much that it's teaching me about myself. And I'm connected to myself in my spiritual way. So it's like everything that I need to just be me. I get through
Yeah.
jujitsu. So, and I like the aspect of, I like that there are people, higher belts are teaching me. Generally, it's a black belt. I like showing respect to black belts. I like showing the respect for the art, and that you're not like talking with a professor. Like I like structure in that way. I like seeing the moves and then like practicing the moves and then switching partners. Like I like being able to teach and be taught. Like I like and you're walking into the gym, or you're walking onto the mat without your shoes. I feel like being barefoot really connects you. Like I feel
Yeah.
like doing that in the grass, like just doing that outside. I don't dance with shoes on. Like I feel like that really helps me to connect with
Yeah.
myself. So there's so many aspects of it that I love. But yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for that question.
That's cool. What do you like about Jiu Jitsu Flow? Why does that like what why do you connect with that? It's different from
It,
training.
it is, it is. I just feel like, so I feel like it was some of the things I was doing like in private. Like I practice meditation, but I practice yoga as well. Like
Yeah.
yoga is meant to set you up for meditation, like supposed to get your physical body ready to sit in meditation for a long time. So I was doing yoga and then meditation and then going to class. So it just kind of connected all of those things together. Jiu-Jitsu flows kind of just like that. It's just the integration of all of it, and of dance. Like I was doing some of the moves that you do in your videos, just like as stretches. Like I didn't know you. I hadn't seen your channel before. So I just was like, this is super rad. Like I have to follow this guy.
Yeah. No, that's the cool thing that like I love. I'll just throw, and the reason why like I'm able to post every day because like I made a commitment of like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was like, I'm gonna post every single day and just see what happens and see if people like it. And I've been able to post every day without like it's not a problem because it's what I do on a daily basis anyways. And I just it's fun. Like it's a meditative state. It's fun. I just like throw on music and just move. It's like you're dancing, and it's cool because you can do it in your home. Like you don't have to worry about what you look like or what people are thinking, right? Like you can use it as a warm up at the gym. Like I encourage that and want people to do that as well. But I love just throwing on music and just moving. And so yeah, I relate to that. I'm glad that you find it fun because it is fun.
It's super fun. And
Yeah.
I don't wanna, I wanna make sure to ask, is there a program that people can sign up for? Like, are you offering a class or something?
So I right now again I'm building this all myself. So it's like my first time going through this process. So I have an online instructional right now. It's my JJ Flow program. You can find it at jujitsuflow.com. And it's 12 follow along workouts where I go through solo movements like one at a time for like, 45 seconds to a minute each. And I also have breathing tutorial, and in separate modules from the follow along workouts, I show how like the partner technique. So you can just kind of see how the solo movements would apply in live training. And then I'm working on currently a new program or new instructional that's called Go with the Flow. And it's a little more advanced, but I'm just taking movements and combining them into different flows. And that's for me where it becomes fun. Like I like working on one movement, but the fun and creativity is where you can start combining different movements together. And as you like learn more movements, then it gives you the freedom to be able to get creative and start putting together your own flows. And it's really, I think of it like a yoga flow, but with jujitsu movements, hence jujitsu flow. So yeah,
It's so perfect.
huh?
It's so perfect. I'm like, thank you for giving this to everybody, sharing this with everybody. And I want to make sure that people can find you. So you mentioned you have a website. List all of the ways that people can find you.
So jujitsu flow, and the flow is spelled without the W, so it's jujitsu and then FLO. I'm on all social media platforms, so Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then my website is jujitsuflow.com. So, and I'll just continuously add more content and build it out more, and I'll be offering more services down the road on my website. And yeah, and eventually, like I'm teaching classes in person at different studios right now. There's like in Southern California, that at Venice Beach, there's a big event this weekend actually. So yeah, if anybody's in Southern California, and it's like a huge event where there's a ton of different activities at Venice Beach, I'll be teaching a jiu-jitsu flow class there, and slowly start integrating more in-person classes and seminars this upcoming second half of the year in 2024. That's the goal.
That's awesome. What are the dates for the event this weekend?
So it's Saturday, July 29th. It's, if you want to look up the event, it's Venice Beach Games, and it's at Venice Beach in Los Angeles. And there's so many different events all day, and it's all free. And then I'll be teaching a jiu-jitsu flow class at 9:45, and it's in like the grappling zone. But if you go to Venice Beach, I'm sure there'll be signs to where you can see everything. But yeah, it'll be a really
Okay.
cool.
It'll take me a few weeks to release our episode, but I think I'll take like a little snippet so that I can share, so I can help promote your event.
Okay. Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. And I like sharing your videos, so I'm gonna keep
Good.
doing that. I hope it's not like
Yeah.
too much.
No, I want to get it out to, if it's helpful for you, maybe it'll be helpful for somebody else. So that's how I look at it.
For sure, yeah. I've got like body aches right now, and I'm like, I just need to like stretch it out. I just need to get into the flow of things.
Me too.
Um, I wonder if you're a Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and
Yeah.
I don't know if your philosophy around teaching, like if you ever roll with white belts, with people that are like people that are not higher belts. I don't know how you feel about that, but um yeah, tell me, do you ever roll with white belts?
Yeah, every day.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
well, that's one of the beautiful things about jujitsu is you can, especially as you have body coordination and awareness, it's like you can have a lot of fun rolling with somebody that doesn't train jujitsu or somebody that's a white belt. Doesn't matter their size or weight or strength. That's one of the fun things where it never really ends, because you want to try to be as fluid as possible. And so it's a game. You can always get better rolling with a complete beginner or someone in advanced, and just having like different modes of training. So yeah, I train with anybody that's that wants to train and that's respectful and willing to give it a shot.
Awesome. Well, I want to point out that that's another reason why I love jiu-jitsu. It's a game. I
Yeah.
love games. Like I love thinking, and especially deep thinking. So that it always keeps me engaged. But I want to like reach out to all the guests that I've had on the show, and I would like to roll or spar with them. Like I feel like I'm gonna like make season 3 all about that. So maybe we can do that. Maybe we can meet in person and we can roll together.
That'd be cool.
It'd
That'd be
be
cool.
so cool.
Where in Colorado are you?
I'm in northern Colorado. I'm about an hour from Boulder.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm kind of like in the country. I love it. I want to be up here, but it's like a lot of farmlands, a lot of I'm outside because my reception inside is not as good.
Yeah.
So and I like it anyway, but yeah, so
Nice.
I'm in the country.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. I've never I went on a huge road trip this last couple weeks ago, and I went from Southern California through Nevada, Idaho, Montana, and then back down Washington, Oregon, California. So I've never been to Colorado, but I have a truck, so I want to keep going on road trips. So maybe I'll make a road trip through there, and then we can try and go.
That'd be so cool. You're so invited. I don't have like I'm signing up for a couple of gyms, but I don't have a home gym yet. But maybe we can, ask to use your space and roll.
Yeah.
And I'll record it and like, yeah, and I'll like put it on my show. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, cool. I don't have any more questions. If you have any more questions, feel free, but I don't want to keep you for too long.
No, I'm good. I appreciate the chance to talk. It was nice chatting with you, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you as well. Okay. As well. Okay. And that's it, y'all. I will tell you, there is a lot of technical difficulties with this episode. Recording it, editing it, uploading it, publishing it, whatever. It was challenging. So I'm even more grateful that I was still able to release this, to share it with all of you, despite all the challenges. And Ari is such an amazing person. I can't wait to meet him in person. I can't wait to learn more from him and to bring more awareness to him and about what he's doing. I'm really, really grateful. If you'd like to be on the show, if you train in Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, wrestling, the cool martial arts, MMA, if you are a mental health professional, if you are a musician, if you're a comedian, if you're just a positive thinking, forward-thinking person that thinks they can add anything, to the conversation about mental health and martial arts, and how martial arts for sure helps to improve our mental health and heal through trauma. So if you are in that realm of people, reach out to me. My email is freedom2TWO5@gmail.com. My Instagram is freedom_2_fight.
My Facebook page is Freedom to Fight. My YouTube page is Freedom to Fight. My TikTok page is Freedom to Fight. You can support me if you'd like. You can support me through Spotify. You can support me through CashApp if you'd like. It is the money sign, Anura, A-N-U-R-A, Mathis, M-A-T-H-I-S. You can PayPal me. It's Freedom TWO Fight, Freedom to Fight. I'm on Venmo. It's Anura860. Contact me. Let me know if you want to be on the show. Let me know what you think of the show. And if you want to send me donations, you can to any of those things that I've listed. They're in the description box. I have so many more episodes to share with you. Thank you for tuning in and for all your love and support. This has been Freedom to Fight. Bye.